this is so premeditated. It's so destructive. And everything they're doing is basically a giant bullying temper tantrum. And everything they're saying about us is what they're really doing. They are licking their chops. And what one media organization does is they'll put out the first lie, and then the next group embellishes, and then more embellish, and then more embellish, and like a game of telephone, you know, where you go around the table and whisper something in somebody's ear, and by the time it gets around the table, it's a totally new story. Doesn't even represent what the first person said once it goes through 10 people. They're still saying, I beat up a child in an unknown town. They don't say where, when, police report. They just say, Jones is being kicked off YouTube and Facebook because he beat up a child. Jones is a bully. It's what you hear over and over and over again. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back live and we are broadcasting worldwide. You know, if I even try to properly address what's happening, I just get really, really angry at myself and feel like I'm not doing it justice. It's that crazy. The organized crime nature of thousands of establishment publications and so-called news organizations perpetuating violence against Trump supporters, perpetuating civil war, perpetuating hashtag hunt Republicans, perpetuating Antifa, perpetuating fake wars that they lied about WMDs to get us into. And then to see that thread throughout the publication saying InfoWars should be taken off the air for perpetuating violence. And then they don't even have any examples they can use unless it was the whole tongue-in-cheek thing about high noon political shootout with Robert Mueller, which was 100% clear. But they don't even really give that example because they know it doesn't fly. They just say, oh, perpetuating violence against LGBT and perpetuating violence against Muslims and perpetuating child endangerment, and then don't show you what it is. Do you understand what fundamental frauds, these SJWs that go get their worthless degrees, and then they go get paid $10,000 a year on average to work for these so-called publications like Vox and Vice and all the rest of it, to openly say we want Alex Jones deplatformed? Think about that. They don't want us having access to the market of ideas because no one wants to read them, no one wants to see them, and there's so-called news organizations calling for other people's speech, whether they call us news or not, to be taken down. But here's the problem you've got. Every member of Congress who's a Republican is going and learning now with the different tech sites that are out there. They can check and see if they've been shadow banned. And they're all finding out that they've been choked back 90% or more, in some cases to where no one can see their tweets unless you go to the page. I used to send out tweets, the average retweet like 10,000. They shadow banned us so bad until Congress got involved, and now we're still 90%, that you'd get one retweet. No one could see it. And then they'd go, oh no, we only moderate tweets that are dangerous or hateful. I'd try to send a clip out of President Trump talking about unity and bringing America together and fighting racism, and that's the type of thing that would get no retweets because they don't want unity. They want division. Every Netflix show, every movie, every magazine, it's all race war, race war, race war, race war, race war, race war, negativity, 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 lies, fraud, disinfo. I got to working on stuff during the break and got distracted, and I'm not ready to get into the invasion of Europe and the invasion of the U.S. and the invasion ships slamming in and what's really behind that. I'm going to do that next segment. But I've got to stay in here during the break and not go do 5 other jobs. Because that's what I do, is I make the decisions basically on everything around here. And I try not to, but a lot of times I have to. We got a great crew. And I'm going to do my best. But this is so premeditated. It's so destructive. And everything they're doing is basically a giant bullying temper tantrum. And everything they're saying about us is what they're really doing. They are licking their chops. And what one media organization does is they'll put out the first lie, and then the next group embellishes, and then more embellish, and then more embellish, and like a game of telephone, you know, where you go around the table and whisper something in somebody's ear, and by the time it gets around the table, it's a totally new story. Doesn't even represent what the first person said once it goes through 10 people. They're still saying, I beat up a child in an unknown town. They don't say where, when, police report. They just say, Jones is being kicked off YouTube and Facebook because he beat up a child. Jones is a bully. It's what you hear over and over and over again. Jones bullied the anti-gun people in Parkland. It really is. Mind-blowing to see this level of lies. But that's what they do. And imagine being the president where they won't look at any of his accomplishments. They won't look at any of the positive things that have been done. All they do is fight as hard as they can to suppress that information from coming out. President Trump tweeted a short video I'm going to play here showing the accomplishments of the last year and a half. And sure enough, I went and looked. Twitter is blocking us and others being able to share this because they want to demoralize the country. They want to dumb it down. They want to control it. Here's what they don't want you to see.
Nobody said it was going to be easy for us, but we will never be stopped.
I will be the greatest jobs president that God ever created.
Record low unemployment and a record high stock market. The Trump economy is red hot.
Rocket Man is on a suicide mission for himself and for his regime. They will be met with fire and fury like the world has never seen.
Now Kim Jong-un says President Trump will pay dearly for those words.
Getting a good picture, everybody, so we look nice and handsome and thin.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
North Korea now committing to complete denuclearization.
I mean, it's truly remarkable what he's doing. He has done more than any president in recent history, certainly in the last half century.
He's not a politician. He's one of us. Never, ever, ever give up.
Never stop fighting for what you believe in and for the people who care about you. Carry yourself with dignity and pride. Relish the opportunity to be an outsider. Embrace that label because it's the outsiders who change the world and who make a real and lasting difference. Treat the word impossible as nothing more than motivation.
3 American hostages are back home.
I am asking all citizens to embrace this renewal of the American spirit. Seize this moment, believe in yourselves, believe in your future, and believe once more in America. I will fight for you with every breath in my body And I will never, ever let you down. The forgotten man and the forgotten woman. You're not forgotten anymore.
I'm not gonna sit here and take it anymore. Look at that. Everybody else is just like yellow or clear. That's because it's been denatured, it's been watered down. We didn't do that. You think I would metaphysically sell you something that is the very best I can get? I'd rather go to hell than do that. I will only give you the maximum best info, the maximum truth, the maximum product, because I want that goodwill. What I do to you, I do to myself. Don't you get the big secret? You ever seen fish oil look like that? No, you never seen that, have you? And this little jewel right here is solid, liquid consciousness. Look it up. Find out how even the FDA and the government admits fish oil is incredible. The number one thing anybody can do for themselves is take good fish oil or krill oil. Just like our information is dynamite, so are our products, InfoWarsStore.com.